So I want to get all the stretch out of that string. Now I'll do that with my A string. You're really just trying to stretch the hell out of this string. Hey, what's up, folks? Happy Thanksgiving. I don't have any kind of elaborate theme video for this holiday. I thought we could just do like a real quick kind of string change. When I went to IBMA, Martin was nice enough to give me some strings. They also gave me some other stuff. I thought I could show that to you, and that could just be our fun little video. Sushi Cat and me, we just want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Let me show you some of the stuff that Martin gave me at IBMA. Okay, number one, I got the Martin hat. Bam. Which I was sworn to never wearing backwards. I think I'm going to break that promise in 3, 2, 1. And there goes any chance of a future Martin sponsorship. What is this? Martin also gave me these sweet coasters. So they cut these out of the sound hole, right? So I guess, what is this? It's spruce? Is this mahogany top? They also gave, KJ something. They gave her a shirt. It's been crumpled up over here because I've been waiting to do this video for forever now, like 2 months. Whoops, should have made that video earlier. Anyway, but what we're really here for today, what we are excited about is these, the new Martin strings, the authentic acoustic out of focus, now in focus. All right, cool. I gotta change my strings. I'm thinking about how I can do this so you can see it. I'm gonna do it over there. All right, cool. That microphone's like super far away from me. I'm out of focus. Let's make it happen. People are so elitist about how strings get changed. You know what I'm talking about? People are always like, that's not how you do it. It's like, hey man, get out of here. Let me just change my strings. You know what I'm saying? This is the part where I stab myself on my high E string. Nothing like feeling the tip of a high E string go deep within your index finger. I'm gonna do just a really quick cleanup, just with some like cheap guitar polish. If you have any cracks or checks in your finish, or any places where the finish is coming off, maybe it's coming away at the binding like mine is, that's not a good place to get this stuff. But of course, I'm in no way an expert on this stuff. I'm only an expert in playing the guitar. All right, cool. My guitar almost doesn't feel like it's covered in a fine layer of sweat. Now we can change the strings. If you want to learn any Marcel string changing tricks, when I put a string in, I like to bend it a little bit right there. What happens is I put that in the guitar, that kind of hooks on the top, and then I put this underneath. What you don't want to do, and kind of a common misconception, is that that little bell end should hook into the bottom of your bridge pin. This is probably the worst demonstration ever. So to make that easier, I just put like the tiniest little bend in the end of these. All right, cool. So let's look at some more kind of little tricks that you can do with that. Now, if I reach in the guitar here, I can check to see that all of those little ends of the strings are seated against the top of the guitar. And I'm gonna record this so you can see me. Hey, look, and you're gonna go in my guitar. Things are getting a little intimate. There you go. You can see that each one of those is up against actually the wood of the guitar there, the back of that bridge plate. Eventually, if anything gets bad enough, you can just switch out that plate. Look, that's where my pickup goes in. So if we go over here, I want to go from my low E string to my A string to my D string. Then I want to go from my high E string to my B string to my G string. The reason for that is it kind of keeps you out of your way. You're never in your own way. You're never ruining your own work or having to reach around a string that you've already laid down. Now, let me show you a little trick. So if you stretch a string, there's got to be a guess as to how much I need left. A lot of people struggle with that, but if I go over here and I make a notch right there, that next to actually my A string tuner, and I'm just going to put a little notch in there. This distance, so from there, this is my low E string, all the way to that A string, is just enough extra string for this to wind perfectly. When I put this in the E string slot, and I'll point this string straight upwards. Cool, so with that measured correctly, you can see that I got 3 windings just perfectly. Oh man, I cannot wait to hear the audio from this video. It's gotta be such trash. Hey look, we're back over here. Alright, so normally when I do this, real quickly I get my guitar in tune like I just did. The next thing that I do is I really want to stretch these strings and I want to break them in. How I do that is I grab right here on the 12th fret and I just grab one string, so I'm grabbing my low E string right now and I'm just going to push it back and forth. And as you can see, I'm actually pushing it quite far. What I want to do is I want to get all the stretch out of that string. Now I do that with my A string. You're really just trying to stretch the hell out of this string. I do that with all of them, straight down the line. Alright, cool. Let's suspend judgments. We're gonna wait, we're gonna break them in some more. And of course, so we don't have any more of that rattling sound effect, I'm gonna cut off all these loose ends. All right, so as I said before, now that I've snipped the ends, my guitar is sat for a little bit more time, let me check that tuning again, and if what I said before is true, this shouldn't have moved very much because I've stretched the hell out of the strings. Yep. E string just barely moved. A string didn't move at all. My D string didn't move at all. My G string, not really moving a whole lot. Cool, so let's talk about these strings now, yeah? I'm going to give you a little demo. I'm just going to move this microphone down so you can hear my guitar better. Let me do a little playing for you. Yeah, so one thing that I'm noticing is that the strings do particularly feel pretty smooth. Like I was saying, they look and feel to the touch a little more flat woundy, and I don't mean that to say that they actually are flat wounds. I mean that they aren't very bumpy. The ridges are pretty minimal, and it makes for a generally pretty nice playing experience. Yeah, they feel pretty responsive for mediums too. Of course, I'm getting on my bends, fine, but they're driving that guitar top more. I feel like I'm getting a muted sound out of my E string and my B string. It doesn't feel as clear and crisp as it can. That's something. And once again, I don't mean that in a negative way. What I mean is this is probably a more balanced tone than what I normally like. Normally, I like to cut a little bit more, especially if there's another guitar already doing the rhythm work. This is giving me a very balanced sound. It almost feels like more of a rhythm sound to me. And you know, maybe like I said, maybe I'm just putting that on. Maybe if you let me play it for a couple days, I would have a different opinion. Yeah, overall, I think it's a wonderful set of strings. Yeah, so to wrap up, hopefully you learned a little bit something about how I normally change strings and how I like to do that. Now these strings, as far as how I like them specifically, yeah, I actually really liked how they play. But once again, they have a really balanced sound. Like I said, they would be good rhythm strings. They might not cut quite as much as I like for them to be lead strings, but that's a personal preference. I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're here with me and you're hanging out, I'm sure you're already a fan of the channel. If not, man, please, check me out on social media. You can check out my website, lessonswithmarcel.com. Bunch of free stuff. You can check out Jazz and Grass on Instagram. And I don't want to go through the whole thing. I'm sure that's enough for you. Once again, shout out to Martin for all this cool stuff. I know I'm not supposed to wear my hat backwards, but I just look so dopey like this. I'll see you guys next week. I swear we'll do some real guitar teaching and stuff. I know I said that last week. I gotta teach a Skype lesson now.